Hello, I'm Coercer, and we're watching games from ArtifactCup number 29. We've arrived at the finals, and we have two great players facing off against each other, and they are Tren and Majiir Pak 2. So let's jump into the first game. The first game will be played on Clash Teeth, a classic Deserts of Kharak map. It's the first map that you'll probably play on if you get Deserts of Kharak. It's the default map for all the multiplayer modes. Well, the default selection for all the multiplayer modes. Majiir Pak 2. Oh, there we go. Yeah, was off target there. Majiir Pak 2 will be playing as Random, and Tren is playing as the Knaf. Let's take a look at what Majiir has spawned in as, and he is once again Coalition. So the randomizer really liked Coalition on that day. So both players are now just building up their economies as usual. Tren is using the mobility support subsystem on his carrier to boost the movement speed of his salvagers and other units, so he will be able to mine a bit quicker from that first bulkhead, and I seriously doubt that Majiir is going to get the refinery mode on Clash Teeth, and he especially won't do that against Majiir. I believe Tren will go for some kind of aggressive build, since he can be fairly sure that if Majiir respawned in as the Coalition, Majiir will go for an AAV build. Now this little guy here is a blast drone, and Tren has built one from his base runner. Apparently right now just for scouting purposes, to see if anything will come through there, if a base runner will come here to try and camp out that artifact, and not much going on at the moment. Tren is building another production cruiser, so he will be going for a double production cruiser aggressive build, and he has just started the railgun fabrication, so we should be seeing assault railguns being constructed in these production cruisers, and that should be quite a good counter to basically these AVs that Majiir has just constructed. If Tren gets those assault railguns out in time, and if he gets armor upgrade on those assault railguns, they will be able to deal with these AAVs quite efficiently. Tren has picked up the middle artifact and is now trying to make it to his extraction zone. He is laying down a smoke screen with the smoke wall ability of his base runner, and now two sand skimmers have arrived to provide some support against that lone LAV attacking the artifact carrying base runner. And now Majiir's AVs will come crashing into Tren's base. Tren has those two production cruisers up, and two assault railguns are in queue, as well as an assault railgun has just been constructed. That AV is just in the range, but the assault railgun is faster, so it should be able to outpace the AAV while being able to return damage to it. But now it's targeting the furthest AAV, and Tren's kind of carrier will now be able to better support his forces, since he has just captured one artifact, so he has all three of his main systems powered up at the moment. Majiir places down some good smoke there and manages to take out two of Tren's See you, salvagers, before those AAVs get taken out. Now, in the meantime, it looks like Tren is just has just parked a blast drone here next to Majiir's salvagers. I'm not sure either player has actually noticed that. It looks like Majiir just noticed this and moved away with his salvagers before that blast drone could do any damage. Majiir is now trying to be sneaky with that AAV. This is a pretty good spot to hide any of our harassing units. I really like to place some assault ships over here in this valley behind this dune, so the enemy has quite some trouble dealing with that. Majiir places another wall, another smoke, to make sure the Tren is delayed as long as possible, so those assault rail guns aren't immediately rerouted into Majiir's base. The Tren has positioned his 2 production cruisers in the middle of the map. Tren has not yet rebuilt his lost salvagers. He has just 1 out at the moment, and Majiir places a preemptive turret post here next to his bulkhead, and that turret post does deal with the blast drone quite easily. I'm sure the Tren is not expecting that Majiir has been placing turret posts. There's another turret right there, and as soon as those assault rail guns or heavy rail guns get too close to the engagement zone of these 2 turret posts, this could get a bit ugly for Tren. And while Majiir was setting up his defenses and Tren was consolidating his assault force, Tren has captured another artifact, and he is now leading 2-0 in the artifact count. Majiir has strike fighters available to him, but unfortunately they are launching right into those production cruisers, and the production cruiser AA is quite strong. So Majiir will be trying to micro the strike fighters to take out the heavy rail guns here in the back, or at least soften up all of those assault rail guns. So Tren won't be able to just waltz in and deal damage from afar. That 1 turret post was able to harass Tren's forces quite a bit, and now if Tren is not careful and this production cruiser moves too close to that turret post, it will start taking quite some damage. And Majiir has positioned his carrier to cut off the escape route of that production cruiser. It also gets targeted by the other turret post, and that production cruiser is in a lot of trouble. Majiir takes down, successfully takes down, and with minimal losses, one of Tren's production cruisers. Now this is looking quite bad for Tren here at the moment. Majiir is stabilizing a bit. He is taking out railguns with his air units. He has some AAVs out on the field to provide some buffer for the damage from these assault railguns and heavy railguns. But unfortunately that production cruiser is taking out Majiir's strike fighters. And I believe Majiir has lost all of his air units, and now these assault railguns are free to pound on Majiir's carrier. Tren has managed to pick up another artifact, so when he delivers that he will have a 3-point artifact lead, while Majiir has 1 artifact in his position, but that base runner was placing another turret. And, oh, this was an anti-air turret post. I remember now when I was watching this on the stream. Majiir actually made a mistake there. He meant to place another ground turret there to prevent Tren from getting away with his forces. And I can only imagine if that were a ground turret, that this engagement would be looking quite a bit differently now. Tren secures another artifact, so he has 3 artifacts in the lead. He has a lot of power to shuffle around on his carrier, while Majiir is still on 1. On 1 power. He did not. Or did he? No, he did research some power reserve. Otherwise, he would have 0 in his reserve pool. It should be quite hard for Majiir to do anything now. Majiir is just waiting around with his assault railguns to regenerate health. All of the Galcian and Kanef forces have the self-repair passive ability, so if these units are not in combat for long enough, they will repair to full health. And Majiir is just pushing ahead with 1 production cruiser. He has quite a large amount of assault railguns, and assault railguns, once you have a fair amount of them and you have all the armor upgrades for them, they become very deadly and quite hard to deal with. They deal damage quickly. Majiir's turret post is paying for itself quite handsomely. It is taking out assault railguns and dealing damage to production cruisers. So that was quite a worth investment. And, that heavily damaged strike fighter deals just enough damage so these LEVs are able to mop up 1 more heavy railgun. This Majiir, up to he has research railguns apparently, as there is a coalition railgun on the field. But I'm afraid Tren just has an overwhelming force at the moment, and that railgun is already damaged. Another production cruiser comes in to support Tren's forces, so now Tren's production is doubled, and he will be able to pump out way more assault railguns. And all this time Tren is mining from 2 resource locations, while Majiir is forced to barely be able to mine from the CU field on this bulkhead. And Majiir is desperately trying to get in close with those LEVs, and if he would be able to get those LEVs right on top of these assault and heavy railguns, the LEVs would live quite longer, and they would be able to deal more damage. Maybe even make sure that those assault railguns are focused on those LEVs, and these coalition railguns would be able to deal more damage from afar. As soon as these railguns fire, they are revealed in the immediate fog of war, and Tren's heavy railguns are able to open fire on them. Majiir still persisting with his strike fighters. He is dealing some good damage there, but then reroutes his strike fighters to eliminate Tren's base runner there in the middle. Also, Tren is in quite a dominating position, while Majiir is trying to hold on and survive this relentless assault. There's basically a huge graveyard here on Majiir's side of the map. Lots of wrecks from this massive battle, and I'm afraid it just looks like Tren has more firepower available to him. The turret post is still dealing damage to Tren's forces. It was definitely worth it to place it there. It also had the high ground advantage, so it dealt more damage. And now Majiir's LEVs are finally able to get a bit closer to those assault railguns. But Tren is fast enough and backs off with his units, so those light attack vehicles can't start circling around the assault railguns and heavy railguns. Majiir is still trying to even discuss a bit by producing railguns of his own, but as soon as any of these railguns just pop up, Tren's heavy railguns just insta-give them. So Majiir really is backed into a corner here, and it looks like Majiir decided to deal with the economy of Tren. If Tren is able to cripple, if Majiir is able to cripple Tren's economy, that should cut down on the ability, on Tren's ability to produce units. And once again, Majiir is very good with his carrier control. He splits up Tren's 2 production cruisers, but unfortunately Majiir does not have enough firepower to take out that production cruiser. Majiir is able to pick up an artifact, so as soon as that artifact is delivered, Majiir will have more power to distribute on his carrier. Now it looks like Majiir is going to go out in a blaze of glory, or he's just trying to buy more time for himself. He now has... Did he deliver it yet? No, it's not yet delivered. Majiir decides to read out more power to his reactive armor system to boost the armor on his carrier, so these assault guns will be able to deal quite that much damage. But Majiir manages to secure 1 artifact. Tren now just has to secure 1 more artifact to win, or he needs to finish off Majiir's carrier. Let's see how this will play out between the Knef and coalition forces. But this is just too much firepower for Majiir to be able to withstand. All of these assault railguns tear into Majiir's carrier, and Tren wins game number 1. Now, since this is the finals of the Artifact Cup, this is a best of 5 series, so we have a potential 4 more games to look forward to. So let's see what happens in game number 2.